Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Autumn. I live in like the Nashville area, in a little town called Cookeville. Well, it's actually starting to grow a little bit, so it's not so small, but it's smaller than Nashville. I just was out grocery shopping and I just felt, I don't know, I just felt the need to hang out, sit down with you guys and just chat. Honestly, you know, I started YouTube. I wanted to document certain things that go on in my life, and also, you know, have things to look back on when it comes to my kids. Mainly, it was just something at that time that was a really, like, I had already like filmed videos before, tried to edit them, didn't really know what I was doing, but it was just fun. It was kind of like a hobby. And once I actually like kind of got serious and actually posted some and did some with my son and everything, it just became like a fun hobby and something when I just do it, that it just, like, anything that goes on in my life, it kind of just, everything just goes away. So, and it's really just a hobby, but and also like a great outlet for me. And honestly, like, this video is not posting because I know a lot about it, or, you know, I have a lot of like knowledge about it. I have some, but it's literally from just like personal experience. I don't know if I only have like one person take away from this video, and they, you know, can relate in any way or anything. You know, that's what this community is kind of for, just to, you know, have support and support each other, and, you know that you're kind of not alone. Ever since I was like 17, 18 years old, I've dealt with depression. I just feel like I've waited so long to actually, you know, not be in such denial about it, or not hide it as much, because I feel like it's something that's always been like, oh, I'm crazy, or I'm weird, or I'm different, or, you know, if people knew that I'd, you know, had this and took medicine for this, then they would, you know, think I was this or that. And like, you know, now that I'm 29 years old, of course, like, certain walls are still up when it comes to it, but for the most part, like, I'll just be straight up, I don't give a shit. But I also don't want, you know, someone out there to think that they're completely alone and that they have to hide it, that they don't, that they're different, because it's really, it's not something that makes you different, honestly. Some ways it does, but like, you're still just the same person, just with certain issues. Like, recently I've been trying to find a good therapist for me. I feel like therapy will really help me. I've always kind of just laughed it off when my doctor has said stuff about it, and kind of just been like, you know, therapy is too much, I don't really need it, you know, my depression is bad, but it's not that bad. Or, you know, when I was younger, I thought therapy was kind of like something that only people with like real mental issues, you know, that's where they went, you know. And of course I was young, but on and off since I was probably about 14, of when I can remember anyway, I've had like depression, and it slowly started getting worse as I got older, honestly. And, you know, I just really want to be transparent about this. I did start taking medication for it. I think I was 18, about to turn 19, and I've been on and off medication still to this day. Currently still taking medication for it. I don't want to sugarcoat it and make it seem like if you are struggling with depression or anxiety or whatever, that you have to be on medication, because that is not, personally, that is not what fixes all. At that time, being 18, 19 years old and going to the doctor at that time that I was going to, that was their quick fix. That's what they put me on. So that's why I've been on and off. So now I'm at the point where I've taken it for so long that my body, my mind, and all of that is, you know, used to it, that I can miss one day and I'm like a whole different person the next. And it, in a way, like, this is not to steer you away from medication, because some people honestly really do need it, and maybe at the time I really did, but whenever I think back to before my depression got pretty bad, you know, I feel like it wasn't it wasn't something that necessarily needed medication at that time. I feel like if I would have started with therapy, then maybe, you know, we'd be in a different scenario right now. I've just really learned, especially over the last year or two, I've learned that, like, talking is honestly the best thing. Because holding it in is just, all you're doing is covering it up, pretending like it's not real, pretending like, you know, you don't have depression. You know, for me, it's not a label anymore. It's just something that I struggle with, and in certain ways it may hinder me in certain areas, but I think it was like I was 24 when I started experiencing like anxiety issues. Not real bad anxiety to the point where I like would like have panic attacks and things. I can only remember one time where I actually like started breathing funny because I was so overwhelmed with emotions at that moment. But for me, like, it's hard to even sometimes go into a store or go somewhere by myself, honestly. And I mean, that's why it's like sometimes I feel like misunderstood, because there's a lot of people that like don't like going out in public, and it's just because they don't like going out in public. But for me, it's like I can enter a place by myself or even with somebody, and more than a handful of people being in the same place like overwhelms me so much, unless I'm used to the place. So like I could probably go to Walmart and like it will stress me out just because it's just a lot of people, but it doesn't make me feel like I'm gonna have a breakdown, you know. And I feel like that's some of the reasons why I even stopped working out like I was, because if my mom didn't work out with me, or if I didn't have a workout partner, I wasn't going. If I didn't, you know, have someone going with me shopping, I wasn't going. I've really struggled, and it's been like in my mind, I'm not going to do that anymore. I got off topic a little bit, but yeah, I just wanted to have a real moment with you guys. If just one person watches this video and relates in any way, it's just, that is kind of like the whole point of why I'm doing this video. I'm doing it mainly for myself because I feel like I'm finally ready to just like be open about it. And what better way to be open about it than actually be opening up to the world and not acting like I'm happy all the time, or and just in a great mood all the time. That's like not the case half the time. So, you know, I just want to be as transparent as possible, but not sharing so much that like, you know, it's a problem or anything. But I definitely want to be open about things like this. And now that I'm older and getting into therapy and talking more about it than I have meeting new people that have the same problems or same issues or just struggling with the same things. Just knowing that you're pretty much in this one big pool of people that deal with this and you're not completely alone, is the best takeaway out of all this. You know, it's more on my mind now to be more open about it. I just want to, in some way, set an example. And I feel like with a lot of things that I've even done through YouTube, I feel like it's kind of set an example for him of, you can be who you want to be, you can do what you want to do, and do it all with no judgment. And even if you are judged, you know, you're not alone. And just want my children to know that they don't have to hide who they are. But if you struggle with something, it don't necessarily have to be depression or anxiety or both, or it could be anything. If you struggle with it and, you know, you can relate in any way, you know, let me know. Comment down below. I do have an Instagram. I don't really get on there much, but if you message me, I'll message back. And, you know, just know that we're in this together.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away? Show us where we are. What makes the sun